Hey guys, this is Chris from ProWrite, and I hope my videos give you a quick glimpse into college life. I know personally, when I was applying to colleges, it was very hard for me to write my essays and college applications. But you guys don't have to worry because you guys can work with ProWrite. ProWrite has successfully helped over 1,000 clients every year get into top colleges, master's programs, PhDs, and more. So if you guys want to learn more, please check it out.
Students should come here, but they should also be mindful of like what they're getting themselves into. I never regretted coming here. I'm really happy that I had this opportunity to come to an Ivy League institution, especially as a low-income Black female. Not everyone has this opportunity. My parents never had this opportunity. So I'm very grateful being here and receiving this education. Me, because I'm low income, I'm here on full financial aid. So it's actually really nice, not having to worry about the financial aspect of receiving one of the best, one of the best educations, in the world. And I really like the support here for minority students. There's several departments that are constantly reaching out to minority students to help them through their process. Specifically first generation low income students, but even if you don't fall into that range, they're still out there to support you. And I feel without them, I wouldn't be as successful here at Cornell. I think another reason why a student, I guess any student, but a student like me should come here is that I met so many amazing people, professors and friends. One of my closest friends ever, I met him here and he's amazing. I'm so glad that I had that opportunity. You get to meet people who are interested in the same field as you, and then you kind of just stick with them. You guys struggle together, you guys laugh together, you guys cry together. And I guess that's the one of the things I like about Cornell, because you develop these relationships that are beneficial to you at that moment, but also will be in the future. And then also meeting so many amazing professors. One thing I realized at right now as a junior, as an upperclassman, is that as my classes dive deeper into my major, my classes get smaller and you start to develop, or you start to meet professors that who have experience in what you're interested in. And that's really important. I feel that's really beneficial to me because for example, I'm interested in epidemiology and the other and infectious diseases specifically. So just meeting infectious people who are professors who study or specialize in infectious diseases, or epidemiologists who specialize in infectious diseases, having that opportunity to connect with them and to meet them and get to know them more. I feel that's actually really really vital in my life. And that's one of the reasons why I like Cornell, because they have so many connections and so many professors who are specializing in so many things. And it's just I feel just anything you're interested in, there's someone who's studying that. And I love that, because where I'm from Florida, a small town called Fort Myers, and they have a university there. And but the university is a lot smaller, and the networking system is not as good as Cornell. And because of that, there's only so far you can go. If you're interested in something specific, the chances of you finding a professor or someone who's doing research in that area is very low. So Cornell, who basically is really interested, or not really interested, who really provides you the support and the resources you need to start research or getting involved in things that you're interested in career-wise. That's one of the reasons why I really love it here.
Yeah, they have the any person, any study model.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they actually live up to any person, any study. You could study literally anything that you can create your own majors, interdisciplinary. You can literally do that. And that's what is one of the amazing things about it. And I guess I really experienced more of bonding with the professors as an upperclassman than as a lower classman. So I think something that students should be aware of is that when they their first 2 years are going to be taking basic courses, Gen Chem, Orgo, Bio, maybe macro, microeconomics. They're going to be taking basic courses that are really like the classroom is really big. So the chances of them developing that relationship or that connection with the professor may be a lot harder, which might be a little bit more difficult. Like if they're like interested in like looking for a rec letter in the future, or like if they're interested in like doing research with that professor, like it might be a little bit difficult. But like once they reach like the classes that specializes towards their major or their concentration, then they start to meet professors that are more interested, or they start to meet professors that share the same interest as they are, and it's actually like really nice. What else? Oh, I guess like another thing students should be aware of is that I guess like one thing is that the high school that I came from, like I was the best of the best. So I'm like, okay, you know, like me at Cornell, like I got this, right? And then I came here to Cornell, I'm like, wow, a lot of people here are talented and bright and smart and like smarter than me. And it's just, and I felt really intimidated.
Imposter syndrome. I felt that.
Yeah, imposter syndrome. That's really common amongst freshmen, but I guess it could hit anyone at any time. And I started to feel like, oh, like, do I really belong here? Because I feel like I'm not at the same level as all the other students in here. And that was really rough on me. Just overall, just like trying to convince myself, hey, I belong here. I should be here. I worked so hard to be here and everything. That like, yeah, so-and-so is going to get 100 on her general chemistry prelim, but like, that's her. I guess like also like, one of the things that did scare me, because I actually came here as a pre-med, was that when I did the pre-freshman summer program, Dr. Lee, you know Dr. Lee. Yeah. One of the things that he said is that like in the general chemistry class before ad drop and everything, like I guess like within the first couple of weeks of enrollment, there's about 900 students. Majority of them are freshmen. And out of those 900, a good percentage of them are pre-med. And one thing he told us was that is like it's you against everyone else trying to get into med school, which that I feel like I was supposed to take it with a grain of salt, but I didn't, and I embedded it in my head and started to compare myself to others, which is something no person should do. But I started to compare myself to others, and guess like that helped fueled my imposter syndrome, because if someone did better than me, then like I kind of just assumed that like, oh, like they did better than me on this exam or like in this class, so like they're going to have a higher chance of getting into medical school than me, or like I'm not suited for medical school, or like I'm not suited for this in general. So it's just like one of those things where just like students shouldn't compare themselves to others. What else? Oh, I really hate the weather here. I'm from Florida, so like it's just like one of the things that like it was really rough. My spring semester of my freshman year, it was really rough because that was the first time like I experienced a winter like that, and I'm like, this needs to end. The sun needs to come out. It needs to be like the minimum 80 degrees. Like this has to come to an end. So I feel like that kind of impacted my performance my freshman spring. My freshman spring was like the worst semester at overall. But I just feel like students who are coming from a similar weather to Ithaca will be fine, but students who are coming from warmer weather, that's just like it might be a little bit rough on them. But overall, like they should still come to Cornell. Just, you know, like just be mindful that like, oh, they're going to an Ivy League institution. There's going to be students just as good as them, maybe even better, but they shouldn't worry about that. And like, you know, they're coming from different environments is going to be rough. You know, like coming from where you think you're the best of the best, you come here, you meet students just like you. Or if you think like, or you don't have that like support, you know, me coming from a first generation, being a first generation college student, it was difficult, like me navigating being an Ivy League student, because no one, like my brother and my sister, they went to college, but they never went to an Ivy League. So I'm like the first one experiencing this. Yeah, but they should still come to Cornell. There's so many opportunities. They will benefit from it in the future. They will meet great friends, make new connections with professors, find out there's like they said, like the model said, any person, any study. Anything that you're interested in, like Cornell will have it, or like if Cornell doesn't have it, like they will provide you the support and the materials for you to create it. And that's like one of the reasons why I love it here.
So my major is Human Biology, Health and Society, which is HBHS, and that's part of a pre-med track here at Cornell. And in my opinion, that's definitely one of the advantages that you'll get from here, because Cornell has an outstanding medical field, and it can propel you towards that field by taking the courses that we have here at Cornell. I think, in my opinion, one of the downsides is definitely like the weather here. I think like from August to like mid-March, the weather is definitely not the greatest here. So if you're looking to go somewhere that has good weather, you probably shouldn't come here. But on the flip side, while the weather may not be good here, the campus is huge and we have so many dining halls. So if you're someone who gets tired of food easily, definitely come here. You'll probably not get tired of the numerous dining halls we have here. There's so much food here that you'll probably never end up getting tired. And another thing is, even though we have like a really huge campus here, it's very easy to find like a close-knit community. I have like multiple friends, like Chris is one of them, and we spend a lot of time together. And so, you can always meet new people every day because the campus is big and because there are so many students. But at the same time, you can, find a close community to make friends with. For me, like the quality of professors have been really good, because compared to, obviously, I don't know from other colleges, but you can tell that the professors here like truly care about like what they're teaching and who they're teaching it to, and you can trust that they really want to help you out. Especially
and adding on
with
that, do you think the professors here focus too much on their research, or what do you think?
Personally, it just depends on the course, I feel like. There are definitely some professors who are invested in like research, more research-wise. Like, if you look at Bio 1500, like most of the professors, teaching assistants, like they're just more heavily focused on research. But like, for example, like Bio 1350, like you can tell that the professor, like, he truly wants to teach and he has a passion for teaching the material, not just like research. So, and stuff
Are you saying deflating? Because inflating is like Harvard.
I meant deflating, sorry. So Cornell is known for deflating their grades. But in my opinion, I think you can definitely like avoid that sort of area, because there's so many resources here at Cornell, like the Learning Strategy Center. And if you like effectively utilize and take advantage of of those resources, then definitely like you can get above the curve and get good grades. So that's like a myth that a lot of people have that may not be true.
So I was choosing between like Cornell and UCLA, but I actually have like no regrets choosing Cornell, just because I feel like Cornell is like the perfect size. Because like UCLA, a lot of my friends are like, they feel very small. And then I also visited this school, and then there's just like so many people. But I feel like Cornell is also not too small and not too big, so everyone's able to like find their community and like not feel small within it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm in the College of Human Ecology, and it's a college that is very specific and unique to Cornell. And it's like fairly small, but it's like very unique because it's a very specific college for specific majors, and it's really easy to find a community there. And like most of my friends, like Chris, are in the same college as me. But you also, so like you can feel like a community from like your specific college, but still have like the large like institution to back you up. You just like have multiple communities. So like you honestly, like before going to college, I didn't really feel a connection to my culture, because like I was born in the US, and like I'm like not the most Korean person ever. But in college, I found another group through like my ethnicity, which is CASA, Korean American Student Association. And like you just feel like a connection to your culture group, and there's just like so many different groups that you can be a part of in Cornell.
One of the biggest reasons why I chose Cornell last year was because of an experience I had over the summer when I was a high schooler. I had the opportunity and like the privilege to go to one of the high school programs that Cornell has over the summer for 3 weeks. During this like experience, I realized that Cornell was the school for me. One of the biggest like reasons why I chose the school was diversity. So the diversity at Cornell is one of the biggest reasons why I chose the school. coming from a very conservative state such as Florida, it can be very like, I don't get that world experience that other states and other students have gotten within their schools. For example, in my school, there was like a couple of Latinx students within my class. So going to the summer program, I realized like there's so many people from all around the world. There's so many people from all around the state, where I was sitting in a public health course, which is really important to like learn about different like healthcare systems around the world and around, like different countries. And I thought it was like really dope to see how like you can sit in a classroom coming from a very conservative state and getting all these different perspectives at a single place in like a single time. Another like reason why I chose Cornell was because of the academic opportunity. Obviously, it's an Ivy League institution. Like the amount of network that you will receive at Cornell compared to other schools might be like the best, but at the same time, it could also be the worst. I don't know. Like it depends on like how involved you get on campus. I'm a strong believer in involvement. I feel like academics will take you places for sure, but if you're not really involved within your community, I feel like nothing will kind of like, you're not going to really learn. You're going to learn like you'll be book smart, but I'm a strong believer in like being street smart as well, which is just getting involved within your community. Should I further the pros of Cornell?
If you have any, yeah.
Okay. I don't really have any more. I feel like
that would be the cons, yeah.
Okay, cons. All right, so cons about Cornell University. The biggest one that's always on my mind is just coming to an elite institution. It's going to be very common to see this like elitist mentality where you come onto campus, you're around a bunch of people that are very passionate, a bunch of people that are very smart, like they just have everything going for them. So trying to get these like pre-professional organizations or these positions in like different e-boards or whatever you want, even a dance club or a music club, can be very, very competitive. So like coming to Cornell, I thought like, wow, I got into Cornell, like it can't get any better. But once you're in Cornell, like you have to keep applying, you have to keep like that discipline, you have to keep kind of like competing against each other. And it's just like how America is, just very capitalistic. So just being open to like failing on campus, that's one of the things that I feel like I should have thought of last semester, because I kind of had an urge to apply to a pre-professional organization, but a lot of my friends were kind of like failing and a lot of them are being denied. And I was scared to like fail already on campus. Like it's fall semester, like I literally just started, like how could I fail? So that kind of pushed me away as a first generation student from applying to these organizations, because I was like, I just don't want somebody to tell me that I'm not good enough. But I feel like next semester I'm going to come back stronger. I'm going to like do my research, and I'm really going to try to like get into these organizations that can really provide the networking opportunities that a lot of us like students, like first generation students, really need in order to prosper in like this elite institution. Another con about Cornell, if I have to keep it real, is that it can be really isolating. So like I feel like friend groups are like what makes Cornell so strong, because it's isolating, there's a good thing. And it's like you can have really strong friend groups because at times when it's like really snowy out, like there's really nothing much to do. So like just kicking it back, watching a movie, like getting to know each other is something that you wouldn't be able to do at another institution if it was like in the city or like a big, I don't know, like a big party school or something like different like that. So that also gives the opportunity for you to get involved. So like, you know that the school is really isolating, so you don't want to like always be in your room. So you just kind of like get involved within like, the community or within different organizations, clubs, try new things like, dance clubs. I joined the Latin dance team, on campus. I tried out for a lot of other dance teams that I didn't make, but, that's okay, because I wasn't that good. And then another like small minor con that Cornell has, and it maybe just be specific for me, is that back at home I was very involved with my Sarasota community. So going to Cornell, it can be really hard to like bring in like super meaningful change, just because the Ithaca community, it's really hard to like get involved with them, just because there's like, I feel like there's constant stigma between like Cornell being on the hill, Ithaca being on the bottom, which like Cornell has been trying to break just because of just the mentality that's been going on. So I feel like getting involved within your Ithaca community can be really helpful. It could be a really good experience, but it's a big challenge for students. And I feel like students should take this challenge in order to learn more.
Cool, thank you.